90-Day Fiancé stars, Pedro and Sophie, have been stirring up quite some buzz since last year. Their secrecy about their rendezvous and their dates made fans more curious. The fandom got their wish when both the reality stars decided to explore their connection very publicly by appearing on The Single Life. However, their relationship has been very bumpy so far. Their sizzling chemistry brought down various romantic moments between them at first. However, reality caught up fast. Tension over family dynamics and commitment issues led the pair to drift apart. After facing much disrespect and trouble from Pedro's mother and sister, Sophie asked for some space. She went on to date different people and even kissed one. So, Pedro seemingly called it quits. 90-Day Fiancé star Sophie wanted to go all out to explore her single life. Her trip to the Dominican Republic was all about exploring her singledom alongside exploring her connection with Pedro. However, her growing bond with him halted when his mother and sister entered the chat. To put herself at ease, Sophie decided to go ahead with her previous plan. She started talking to other men, and even went on a date with one of them. On their date, Sophie, however, could not focus. Her eyes would trail off all over her date's hot body. She additionally wanted to see the tricks his gym-going body could do. The date did not shy away and got out of his shirt. Sophie did not waste time feeling his bare body. The 90-Day Fiancé fandom might remember that Pedro was not at all happy with Sophie going on dates with other men. He had expressed his dislike before. However, after Sophie's date, he seemingly had a much harder time wrapping his head around things. After Sophie's steamy date, she met up with Pedro at a beach near the hotel. There, Pedro got straight to business, asking about her date. He additionally insisted upon details of the night. However, Sophie could not satisfy him with her vague answers. Jimeno kept asking about whether they shared a kiss, catching Sophie off guard. She was wary of him because he did not seem in a good mood. She was right. When she confessed that she had indeed kissed the guy, all hell broke loose. "That's nice that you want to go out in the world kissing a random guy this first time that you meet him," he stated. Moreover, he was fuming with quiet fury and did not like what he had heard. He expressed his feelings for her and questioned why she could not see the value he was bringing. Although Sophie saw those values, she still wanted to explore her single life after her last relationship. "I told you I want to have time being single. You had time to be single too," she pointed out. However, Pedro was not having it. He made it very clear that he won't wait around for Sophie like that while she went out to have fun with other men, walking off angrily. Pedro Jimeno seems done with Sophie after learning about her new Dominican fling on 90-Day Fiancé, The Single Life. He ran straight to his mama after finding out the truth. The TLC star has been dreaming of building a life with her. Pedro agreed that his family went overboard when he introduced them to Sophie. But he really wanted them to get along. The reality TV star isn't looking for a casual fling or any situationship. Pedro wants to get married, have kids, and live a drama-free life. Well, Sophie seems to have disappointed him once again with her behavior. She opened up about her new man, Brian, and gave him the deets of their romantic date. But the Dominican native seemed to have rushed to cry on his mama's shoulder after the heartbreak. Pedro Jimeno and Sophie Sierra decided to give each other some space after all the drama on 90-Day Fiancé. But the latter wasn't ready to waste her holiday crying over the former. Instead, she decided to keep exploring new options in the Dominican Republic. The TLC star met a new guy, Brian, and decided to go on a date with him. However, Pedro visited Sophie and expressed how much he missed her. He also wanted to know if she wanted to hang out with him. The TLC star was in disbelief when she learned that Sierra was going on a casual meetup with another guy. Pedro inquired about Sophie's new fling and looked disappointed to learn everything about it. He couldn't believe that she was exploring other options and reminded her that it is called a date, not a casual meetup. Pedro Jimeno is still hopeful of getting into a relationship with Sophie Sierra. He is trying his best to win her trust and give their relationship a chance. However, the 90-Day Fiancé star is struggling to decide because of Sophie's messy behavior. Recently, Jimeno expressed how hard he tried to calm down after learning that Sierra had gone out on a date with another man. But he was still holding on to the hope because he thought she had something very special inside her. The TLC star finally asked her if she kissed the guy on their date. Pedro's jaw dropped when Sophie admitted to kissing Brian during the date. He couldn't believe she just kissed a random country after traveling to the DR for him. The TLC star stated, "I've been saving for 5 months, and you only kissed me like a good kiss one time." According to Access Hollywood, Jimeno wanted to love Sierra, protect her, and be there for her. He ended up storming off after he couldn't hide his anger. The 90-Day Fiancé star told the cameras that he invited Sophie to spend some time with him, but she began dating another guy during the trip. Meanwhile, Sophie believes Pedro shouldn't have reacted that way because she was being honest with him. 90-Day Fiancé stars Cortney and Colt are finally realizing that letting an ex move in, especially one with a history of cheating, wasn't a great idea. They are now planning to get rid of him by kicking him out of their house. But viewers believe that the real question isn't why Colt is being asked to leave. It is why he was ever allowed to stay with them in the first place. Cortney and Phil are perhaps correcting the mistakes that they could have easily avoided altogether. They are now planning to show Colt the door, and viewers are finally taking a sigh of relief. But there is a lot more happening that is going to blow your mind. Keep on reading to know more about it. 90-Day Fiancé star Cortney didn't take time in moving in with Phil after dating him just for a few weeks. But her so-called guilt about Colt didn't fade away, and she was still taking care of him. Hence, Cortney used to visit him at the hotel while he tried his best to win her back. All of this didn't really sit well with Phil, as he didn't like the way Cortney was going to shady hotels to look after him. Phil asked Colt to move into his house. This way, he could keep an eye on him and keep him in line as well. Moreover, Cortney wouldn't have to make such trips to hotels and take care of Colt. But viewers still think that taking Colt in wasn't the best decision, and it appears that Cortney and Phil are finally realizing their mistake as well. 90-Day Fiancé star Phil has finally realized what kind of blunder he made, and now he is trying to do damage control. He told the cameras that he didn't mind helping him, but now it was impacting his relationship as well. Apparently, Cortney and Phil weren't getting privacy, and they weren't even able to sit in their living room together, as it was right in front of Colt's bedroom. Phil finally came to the conclusion that it was time for Colt to pack up his bags and move out as soon as possible. He told Cortney that Colt was doing pretty good, and he had even seen the ladder walk. Cortney then wondered if Johnson was simply pretending to have a roof on his head. However, Phil believes that there is a lot more to the story. Phil is convinced that Colt wants to be with Cortney and made it clear that he didn't trust him at all. He added he's a snake, and Cortney agreed to it. The latter noted that they will make Colt leave their house. But Cortney wants to do it in a way where Colt doesn't feel that they were kicking him out of their home. Well, she still has this concern. 90-Day Fiancé star Colt Johnson can't stop flaunting his romance with new girlfriend, Diana. He confirmed still dating her after Cortney dumped him on The Single Life Season 5. The TLC star just shared some beautiful moments on social media. However, fans of the franchise are curious about Diana's actual age, given how young she looks in the photos. She has yet to share why she gave him another chance after all his lies and red flags. Colt revealed on the show that his Brazilian woman also dumped him because of the fears that he would cheat on her. He called back to Cortney, hoping she would take her back. Well, the reality TV star didn't get anything, but more humiliation and rejection. Fans are waiting to know how Colt would convince Diana to get back with her. 90-Day Fiancé star Colt Johnson loves playing with women's hearts. He is well known for his cheating scandals and lies in his relationships. The TLC star betrayed Cortney and cheated on her behind her back. Johnson was sending explicit videos and photos of himself to Diana while staying under Cortney's roof. He was just using her for free shelter, home, and comfort. However, Reardance didn't waste time throwing out Colt stuff from her house after his cheating scandal. Johnson pretended to apologize to Diana for his mistakes because Cortney had told her about his lies. Diana wasn't sure if she should invite Colt to Brazil after he lied to her. The latter didn't reveal that he was still having oral intimacy with Cortney. Later, the TLC star kicked him out after his short trip to Brazil. Diana was afraid that Colt would cheat on her like he did in the past. Diana just joined the 90-Day Fiancé franchise and shared her messy dynamics with Colt Johnson. She is still figuring things out with him and has not yet decided whether to give him another chance. But Colt just shared a series of beautiful moments with the TLC star to confirm they are still together. He shared some selfies with Diana as they sat together on the flight. The 90-Day Fiancé fandom was reeling from all the drama from Tell All Part 1 when Tell All Part 2 dropped. As the makers promised, it featured a generous amount of drama and explosive bombshells. The couples did tell all, with some mind-boggling revelations. One of the most audacious revelations was about Aviva's infidelity. Now, the fandom must know that Stig has been getting massive backlash for breaking up with Aviva over text, without any context. Thus, he released a diss track for his trolls. The rapper additionally came to the tell-all to drop some serious shade at his ex-fiancé. However, the fandom had already predicted this outcome and wished that someone would show their place. Aviva, Emma, and Forrest did just that. The 90-Day Fiancé fandom was always wary of Stig. They would often warn Aviva about him and even urge her to dump him before he dumped her. That's exactly what he did. He dumped her over texts and broke her heart. Moreover, he was already hooking up with other women just hours after their breakup. However, at the tell-all, he tried to gaslight the whole situation. He tried to pin all the blame on Aviva and did not hold back on her during the tell-all segment. This is like Johnny from The Other Way, who tried to gaslight Chloe and dump all the cheating allegations onto her. Stig also confronted his ex-fiancée at the tell-all, accusing her of cheating. Therefore, many fans now point out that Johnny walked so Stig could run. 90-Day Fiancé star Stig crossed all boundaries of decency when he projected his own transgressions onto his ex-fiancée at the tell-all. He caught everyone off guard when he accused Aviva of cheating. Turns out, someone she didn't know texted her, saying that Stig could never love her as he would. She subsequently answered affirmatively. Nothing past that happened. Moreover, the reality was that there were men in the section at the pool party. The infamous rapper was not okay with his fiancée hanging out with men while not texting him. He was not okay with the same treatment that he had given Aviva for years. Moreover, these are the instances that made him feel that she was cheating on him. Therefore, he broke up with her over texts and moved on pretty quickly. Aviva was not having it and called him out on his double standards. She additionally pointed out that he would do so much more than just be near random women every day because he was an artist. However, one day, Aviva was out in the vicinity of other men and texted him less. All hell broke loose. Creator Alexa Pomegranate featured this clip on her page. The reality TV star additionally insisted that she never cheated on Stig. Apparently, Stig had even verbally abused Aviva. However, in his defense, she had pushed his buttons. The other cast members additionally shamed him for his unruly behavior. Other cast members, like Emma and Forrest, additionally called him out on his double standards, noting his transgressions. Within each passing instance, 90-Day Fiancé star Stig keeps digging a deeper grave for his own reputation. Although he is very nonchalant about it, his reputation is currently in tatters. He already has an ill repute of being a player and a womanizer. That is exactly the reason why the fandom and her own family warned Aviva about getting serious with him. They had already predicted what Stig had done to Aviva. Moreover, they had already predicted that Stig would pin all the blame on Aviva, despite his own transgressions. That is exactly how it went down at the tell-all. He had accused Aviva of cheating on him. However, now Aviva has seemingly grown a backbone and is standing up to him, giving him a befitting response. 90-Day Fiancé's tell-all is finally here with a downpour of explosive drama. However, things grew really tense between Stig and Aviva amid various shocking allegations. The fandom had already speculated that Stig had started to waver the moment Aviva refused to be his sugar mommy. They also warned Aviva that he might pull some cheap tricks at the tell-all. That he did. He had taken to the tell-all segment to make a serious accusation against Aviva. The infamous rapper additionally claimed that she had cheated on him with a mystery man. In a recent teaser from the tell-all, he blatantly confronted Aviva. "Aviva, look at me now and say that you didn't cheat," he called her out. 90-Day Fiancé star Aviva Duhamel had caught the fandom off guard when she looked down guilty while Stig was accusing her of cheating. She would not meet his eyes. Therefore, many fans started doubting her. However, A big chunk of the fandom insisted on waiting till the tell-all to reach a definite conclusion and not judge her based solely on Stig's words. In a clip of the tell-all from the fan page, The Reality Miss, she came forward to set the record straight. The reality TV star strongly insisted that she never cheated on Stig. Therefore, the confusing to-and-fro situation made the host ask Aviva where Stig might have gotten this impression. She subsequently answered that while she was in Belize, someone had texted her. She did not know him. The mystery man said that Stig would never love her as he would. Aviva, on the other hand, confirmed that the rapper was treating her very badly at the time. She had additionally acknowledged that her actions were wrong and disrespectful. However, Stig chimed in, saying that when she was back in the States, she was talking to other men multiple times. He wasn't okay with her hanging out with guys. Apparently, he saw his best friend post from a pool party with Aviva, where men were present. He also had the audacity to say she wasn't texting him when he was doing the same. Aviva pointedly noted that Stig did so much more with so many random women while being in a relationship. Apparently, he verbally abused her, and the cast also called him out on his excuses.